I just want to show you a couple of things some people have asked about, some really quick little just little tools that are going to help you as you're making your patterns, okay? So again, I've got this basic bodice front, and the first thing I want to show you is how to offset the path to in order to have a seam allowance, okay? So let's say the first thing you need to do is you need to be sure that the path itself is one full group and it's not grouped with this, say, okay? Because if say this and this were, let's say they're joined. No, let's not say that because I don't want to do that. Let's say they're grouped. Okay, this might work, this might not. Let's try this. Object, path, offset path. Okay, so see what it did is it offset this as well, which we don't want, okay? So the first thing you need to do if you're having trouble with this is you need to be sure that this is not all grouped. So I'm going to go in here and do undo group, okay? And I'm just going to click on this path, okay? So this is all that I want to offset. So I'm going to go to object, path, offset path, okay? Now, and you can kind of change this around. I kind of like to do like a 0.25 or something like that, which I think is a nice seam allowance, okay? So if you're having trouble, just remember there may be a grouping issue. Edit, undo offset path. Okay. Another little thing I want to show you is that if you're working on something like a pretty complex pattern, obviously this is not, this is very simple, but we do have a dashed line and we have just a solid line. Now you can go in and you can, you know, let's say I want this line to be like, no, I want this line to be like this line, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you, I'm going to use the eyedropper tool. So I'm going to click on this path. I'm going to come over here to my eyedropper tool, okay? And now what it's done is what I want to change is selected. Now what I want to change it to is what I'm going to click on, okay? I'll click off. Let's look at it. And look, it's changed this to a dashed line. So I basically told Illustrator, hey, I want this to look like this, okay? And this is a fun little tool to play around with. It's super simple, you know, but it's a good one to know. Edit, undo. Okay, so another thing is that as you guys are working, you might want to start kind of color coding things, and that's easy. You can literally just click on the path of what you want to change the color of. You can come down here to the stroke color. Okay, I had to double click it. And let's say I'm going to change this to blue. Press OK, click off. Now it's blue. Okay, click it again, double click again. Red might actually be a little easier to see. Click it off. I changed it red. Okay, so you've got some play. Ultimately, it's, you know, what is more, you know, as you're working and things get more complex, it is easier to kind of start color coding things, okay? So I'm going to change this back to black. All right. And then also as you're working, you might want to try working in layers, okay? So just like in Photoshop, you can work in layers in Illustrator, okay? So you've got properties, layers, libraries, and if you're not seeing this, you can come up to Window, Workspace. You can click, I'm on Essentials right now, and that has this really nicely off to the side here where I can see everything. You know, sometimes I work on Essentials Classic. It just depends, but you can always kind of change it around. You can also go to Window and go down to Layers, and it's going to bring up your layers, okay? So anytime you can't find something, look around in Window, okay, or look in Workspace, and you can go from there. Okay, so let's say I want to make a new layer, okay? Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Oh, that's not what I meant to do either. Sorry, I'm zooming in here, zooming out. Okay, so I can come over here to the right, and I can click New Layer, and I've got a new layer. I can title it, let's say, I don't know, whatever, you know, you don't have to title it, okay? But you can change if you're going to work on something, whatever you want to do. Press OK. Okay, so I'm now going to work on this layer. So let's just say you want to like try something out on here. I don't know, I'm just going to like draw something. Like this is not anything really at all. But let's say I have something, I want to move it around. And then why is this green? I don't want this to be green. Whoops. Nope. But I can play around with a layer, and then it's not important why it's green or why it's not. And then I can click it off if I don't like it. Okay, so that way I can just use this as a means to play around. So I was working earlier. Oh, I deleted that. Never mind. So you can work on multiple layers. Don't like this. And then let's see, you can right click this. Well, options for layer 3. Show print preview. Let's go to black. Okay, let's try that again. All right. I don't really work on layers a lot. I just kind of do it all on top because it's easy to just Command Z, Command Z, Command Z. But for some people, I know that they've liked working in layers. So if you ever need to access this, it's over here. So I can draw on top, and then I can click it off, and then it's gone. You can also separate things out this way. Like you could have your bodice, you could have some sleeves and things like that. And then as you needed to work on an individual one block, you can click the viewing off on the right. Okay, so these are just a couple little tips and things to help you as you move forward. So I hope it's helpful, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.